All right, so how many trees are there in pattern number 20? Can you figure it out? So this is figure 1, this is figure 2, and this is figure 3. So say to yourself, self, what do you notice? And we want to know how many are in pattern number 20. Does anybody have an answer they would like to share? Cameron? 41. Okay. Anybody else have an answer? What do you notice that is the same about each of these that are being shown right now? Rodney, I know you're new to this class, but when you look at these 3 patterns, what do you notice that is exactly the same? Is it Rodney? It's Pierre. Is your last name Rodney? So sorry, Pierre. Like I said, lack of sleep. What do you notice that is exactly the same and that these first 3 have in common? Anything? Excellent. Yes. They all have and start with these 3 trees at the bottom. And Cameron's like, yep, I noticed that. Okay. So once you have those 3 trees down, what do you notice? What do you see? Anybody else? Who said that? They go up by 2. Okay. So how can I base when they go up by 2? Could you figure out how many trees are in pattern number 20? Okay. How could you do that?
I subtracted the 2 tree, I subtracted, because every tree, so I subtracted like 2, or no, 3, because there's already 3 trees there, and then I multiplied it, so like I did 2 times 17, which gave you 34, and then plus the 7 that's there on round 3, which gave you 41.
Okay. So you're agreeing with Cameron's number. Is that what you're saying? Okay, so I understand you got the same number. I didn't quite follow how you got there. Could you try to explain that again? Because you're right, but can you just explain it a little?
Okay. So you see how there's like 3 sets of trees on 3? You have the 2, 2, and 3. So I took that, so I took those 3 sets and subtracted it by 20, or I did 20 minus, 20 minus 3 gives you 17.
So you have 17 more patterns. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I times that to 17 by 2, which gives you 34. And then I added the number of trees on 3, which is 7, times 34 plus 7, which gives you 41.
So 34 plus the 7 from figure 3. Is that what you're saying? From figure 3, gave 41. Okay. All right. Hi. Nice outfit. All right. Okay. What is this? Is this for you? For now? Maybe? understand what this is.
What is that?
Huh?
What is that?
I guess you need to go see Seacoast, Mr. Seacoast. What time is it? It is 8. I don't know. Go check it out. All right. So, Aiden, that's your name, right? So Aiden explained it. I'm going to explain it just a slightly different way. I see this as each pattern having 3 trees plus the rest of it is then a rectangle that is always 2 by either 1 or 2 by 2, and then 2 by 3, 2 by 4, etc. Okay? So if this is figure 2, it's 3 plus these 3 plus a rectangle that is 2 by 1 number less than that. Okay? 1 number less than the pattern number. So if I am looking at figure 20 is 3 that are on the bottom plus a rectangle that is 2 by 19. That's another way to look at it. And 2 by 19 gives you 38, and 38 plus those original 3 give 41. Okay? So if I were to do this algebraically, what would that look like algebraically for, let's say, pattern N? Pattern N. First of all, it would start with what? What do we know that's true? For all of them, 3 on the bottom, plus 2, and in the case where I did it, 2 times what? What's 1 less than N? What's 1 less than N? No? 1 less than N. How would you write that algebraically? What's 1 more than N? Louder, please. 1 more than N. Oh, you were saying it. I'm sorry. Says the mom. 1 more than N would be N plus 1. So 1 less than N would be N minus 1. Yes. Okay. So, and if I put this all together and distribute this, I get 2N minus 2. So the final answer would be 2N plus 1 if I was looking at pattern N. You're like, whew. Are you ready for this on a Monday morning? Not quite? Okay. Don't worry, we're going to keep working on this. All right. So in your books now, let's open up to page 60 if you have not already. Okay? We're going to do this, and then I'm going to give you a little quiz. It's not really a quiz. It doesn't count as a grade. Yes, Nehemiah. Yes. Yes, you may. Let me get them started, and I'll get you a pass, okay? All right, so on page 60, task number 6, smartphones. Suppose P and Q represent the price in dollars of a 64 gigabyte and a 32 gigabyte smartphone, respectively. Do you know what that means when they say respectively? And they list those? Do you know what that means? That means that the first one, the first one, which is P, also goes with the first amount of the cost, and the second one as given goes with the second amount of that cost. Okay? Where P is larger than Q. So the 64 gigabyte smartphone costs more than the 32 gigabyte smartphone. Interpret each of the expressions in terms of money and smartphones. Then, if possible, determine which of the expressions in each pair is larger. Okay, so P is the 64 gigabyte, and Q is the 32 gigabyte smartphone. So when they say for the first example, P plus Q and 2Q, ask yourself, what does each of these represent and which one of these is larger according to what is being said in the problem? Okay? Try that and I'll be right back. Okay? Come on now, take a look at your books. You can do this. What does P plus Q mean in terms of this problem? And what does 2Q mean in this problem? And then which one would be bigger? There you go. You only get 3 left for the semester, okay? All right, how are we doing? Somebody at the door? So P plus Q. Let me write this down. Yeah, that's fine. Just take care of business. All right, good. All right, so here we go. What does P plus Q represent in this problem? What does it represent? $64 gigabyte? P, right? And P is the price of a 64 gigabyte. So what does P plus Q mean? Who said something? Price of? Yeah. Okay, so P plus Q is going to be the cost of one 64 gigabyte phone and one 32 gigabyte phone, right? I wish mine were like written the way yours are. So then 2Q, what does 2Q represent? Jumanji, what do you think? Jumanji, I must have said that wrong. Jumani. I know, I was thinking of the movie. No, I wasn't. Jumani, right? So sorry. What does 2Q represent? Price of what?
32 gigabyte phones.
Okay, the cost of 2 32 gigabyte phones. Right? Is everybody with me? Okay. So in that example, which is going to be larger? The cost of 164 and 132 or the cost of 2 32 gigabyte phones?
164.
Okay, so what symbol should we put in there? You could say is greater than. Okay? So basically, P plus Q is greater than 2Q. Does that make sense? Oh, you're like, oh, okay, that was not so bad. So let's go to the next one. P plus 0.08 P, and you're comparing that with Q plus 0.08 Q. So what in the heck could that represent? I'm going to write these down here. So there's the first one. No. Oh, you want to erase, and you keep hitting the wrong button. Okay. So P plus 0.08 P and Q plus 0.08 Q. What did those represent? What could that be? What is P again? Bless you. What does P represent in this problem? Come on, put on your thinking caps. Okay, so the cost of 164 gigabyte phone, right? Plus 0.08 P. What operation is happening in between there, Rodney? When I say 0.08 P, is that adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing? Yeah, it's multiplying, right? He's like, yes, of course. Yes, you are multiplying. And what is it that we could maybe take 0.08 times P? If P is the price of this 64 gigabyte, what is 0.08 times that? What could that represent? So close. If it was a discount, though, I probably wouldn't be adding it. What is it? Tax. Yes. So it's the cost of a 64 gigabyte phone plus, usually there's like 7 or 8% tax, sales tax, plus the tax, in this case, 8% on that 64 gigabyte phone. So how does that compare? What's Q plus 0.08 Q? That is going to be the cost of, Jesse, what? Who are you looking at over there? Is it Jaden? Oh, okay. What is Q plus 0.08 Q? The cost of what? Yeah, 32 gigabyte phone plus its tax, which is still 8% of that 32 gigabyte phone. Okay, so in this case, which of these is going to be larger? P plus 0.08 P or Q plus 0.8 Q? We don't even know what the amounts are. How can I determine that, Miss Thede? How can I tell that? Sajan? What did they tell us back in the original problem? That's really, really important. Yes, so if P is greater than Q, then I know this P has to be greater than Q. And if you take 8% of a larger amount and you compare it to 8% of a smaller amount, you're still going to have more with a larger amount, right? So that means it goes like this. So P plus 0.08 P has to be greater than Q plus 0.08 Q. Questions on that? Is it making some sense now? All right. So the last one is 600 minus P and 600 minus Q. What might those represent? 600 minus P and 600 minus q. What might those expressions represent? Okay, yes. And when I say 600 minus, what is the result? You're on the right track. One of them's going to cost less, yes. But when I say 600 minus p, what is that giving me? So talk to me about the 600. What is the 600? What do you think the 600 might be?
Like a price or
We have our prices already, and those are P and Q. So I don't think it's price. Put on your thinking cats. Yes, I am saying cats. Trying to be funny. It's not working. If P is a price, Andrew, and we have 600 minus P, what is that expression represent? I did say your name, right? Did you hear me? No, I'm talking to Andrew, right behind you. You're like, oh, good. What is 600 minus P? If P is a price and there's 600 and you're subtracting the price from it, what is 600? Yeah, kind of. Close. You're so close. Yeah, it's how much you're paying for it, right? It's like the money you are giving. So 600 minus P is going to represent like the change you get back, right? Does that make sense? The change of payment for a 64 gigabyte phone, and 600 minus Q is going to be the change. I meant to do that in red. Change, not of payment, maybe for payment. So you are paying them $600. We still don't know what the prices are, right? Okay, so if we're now talking about the change, which is going to be larger, 600 minus P or 600 minus Q? Yeah, so what inequality sign would I use there? Is greater than, is less than or equal to, is greater than or equal to? Which one's larger? Which sign would I use? Should be this one, right? Because if the 32 gigabyte phone costs less, you're going to get more change back from that $600 if you get the smaller one. Okay? Isn't that cool? We don't even have any idea how much they actually cost. All we know is the one phone costs more. Okay? Like I said, you have never had a math class like this, have you? You're like, I'm not so sure about this. It's okay. Any questions about those three problems? All right. So determine which of the expressions is larger and interpret each of the expressions in terms of the population. So again, going with this first one, we have x plus y. What does that represent? And we have 2y. What does that represent? And which one is larger? So what is x plus y? Yeah, all students, right? All students. Basically, the males and the females, right? And what does 2y represent? Twice the number of female students. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes? So, which one is larger? X plus Y and 2Y. Where are my X plus Y's? Who says that's larger? Where are my 2Y's? Who says that's larger? Okay, a lot of you didn't vote, but yes. 2Y is going to be larger, so the mouth is open to 2Y. How do we know that? How do we know that?
Because it already says there are more female students than male students in the
Uh-huh. So you can actually solve this algebraically. If you take a look up here, and I'm saying equal for now just because to show, if I take away a y from each, right, I'm left with x and one y. And they already told us that x is less than y, so that's why x plus y is going to be less than 2y. Does that make sense? So that can show you algebraically. But yes, if you have more women on campus or females, then twice the number of women is definitely going to be more than the entire population. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the second one. What is x over or divided by x plus y? What does that represent? And what does y divided by x plus y? What does that represent? Eyes up here, please.
The male students divided by all students.
Okay. And we're talking about the first one, right?
Yeah.
So this is the fraction, maybe, of male students out of the whole population of the campus, right? Yes? Agree? And what is y divided by x plus y? Yeah. Darn it, I wanted that in the other writing. So this is the fraction of female students out of the entire population. So, which of these fractions would be larger? Or which inequality system would I use? Do you not like the inequalities? You don't like inequalities? Which one is smaller? X over x plus y or y over x plus y? Yeah. This one is smaller, so the big mouth goes to the y amounts. Okay? All right. And looks like we will pick up there tomorrow. Keep working on homework 0, what makes you happy, and homework 1, the math magic. Those are on Canvas. All of our homework is on Canvas. So take a look and find those, and I will try to grade the math magic ones tonight. Okay? All right. Good job today. Got to be thinking in this class, okay? It is very unusual from other math classes, is it not? Very different. But you are problem solving. You are thinking, which I think is awesome.